Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively together in a room, we make the Office Blokes.
Yeah, we're now the cabinet for the UK government.
Are we? Has he been sacked?
No, but I just signed up. I'm the Chancellor.
Right.
Your Department of Education.
You sure?
Yeah, but you can't get anything worse than what they've got.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you want to know what Mike is?
Go on.
Transport Minister.
I can see that.
Yeah, I know.
I can see that.
Yeah,
That's
I
a clipboard job.
Yeah, exactly.
High-vis
That's what I
jacket.
thought. Yeah.
That's the one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do.
If you'd like the Office Blokes to fix the country of the United Kingdom.
We just need a
what were you
Prime
doing
Minister.
again?
Me.
Yeah.
Chancellor of the Exchequer.
I thought Foreign Secretary.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
That's not a good one for me.
Do both.
Chancellor of the Exchequer involves tax, doesn't it?
No.
Doesn't
It
it?
involves levying the tax.
Right,
Doesn't
okay.
involve paying tax.
Setting the level.
Oh, right.
None of them
right.
government fuckers pay tax.
No, I know. Right, this is from Sunny V2. As I was queuing up a few videos, and incidentally, I don't queue up all the videos. Daz puts them in the watch later. I put them in the watch later.
Done them all today, I think, haven't you, so far?
Well, some of them are from you putting them in the watch later.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's just I keep seeing comments like Dave picks all the videos. I don't.
No, you don't.
Leave me alone.
No.
Leave me alone. But as I was queuing up videos today, this came up. It was minutes old.
Yep.
How James Corden destroyed his reputation. I watched Sunny V2 is one of the few channels that I wait for a new video. And I watch as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
Makes really interesting, like well-researched stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember what one we did. We did react to one.
Was it to do with the some YouTube company, two brothers?
The Fine Bros. Fine Bros React.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Right,
Which obviously relates to us because they were one of the first reaction channels.
Right.
Yeah.
But how James Corden destroyed his reputation. I didn't realise he had a reputation in the first place.
He used to be quite funny.
Not sure what.
When he did Gavin and Stacey, I thought he was funny, and then he did a few sketches where he did like don't know. He spoke to the England football team.
Is it Smithy or something? His characters, wasn't it, or something? It means does it mean destroys reputation over here or in the US
We'll
or?
find out, I guess.
Well, this channel's Australian.
Back. Okay.
Ah, right. Okay.
But then talks a lot about the States and sort of, I think because he was
interesting.
Was he doing late night?
He
James
was.
Corden.
He was, yeah. But I don't know what his reputation's like over there now. Maybe this will tell us about what it's like in the States.
Even when he used to come back over here and do League of Their Own, which I quite find it's quite a funny
did.
show, and
Yeah.
quite like it. But the only thing I stopped watching it for was because he was doing it. He was a little bit too much. I was like, I can't take him anymore. He was like just a little bit too much.
Yeah, his laughing was a
over
bit
the
too
top.
forced for
But
me
yeah,
sometimes.
exactly,
I think it's been better since I've had like other people. Ramesh has does it really well. I
But
think.
even he's getting that set. He's going the same route.
Yeah.
I think they
it's
do,
kinda
don't they?
like-
Maybe they should do it like if I got news for you, just have a different one every week, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that might be a better way to go. But
My main theory with James Corden is that he was never a particularly nice guy, and that it's all fake. His image is fake.
Right.
His big smile, laughing all the time is fake, and I think he's just been exposed.
I don't know. Gavin and Stacey was very good.
I know, but he's playing a
was.
part. But
Yeah.
there's loads of anecdotal stories of him being an absolute dick when he was acting in that
really?
to other actors
Really?
and stuff. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I'd sort of, I mean, I've not heard of things like that, but I would guess that that's one of the reasons why I wasn't overly keen on him.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you just pick up in people's personalities, don't you? Thinking, you think he could be like that.
yeah.
But I'm one of them that don't. I don't sort of like pry into people's personal sort of like ways. And
No,
methods.
it's not a big
If
thing
I
I look for.
If I watch Gavin and
Guessing
Stacey
anything.
and it's funny, then Gavin and Stacey's funny. Then I don't sort of think one of James Corden was a wanker in that.
You separate the art from
Yeah,
the
I
art.
do,
That's
yeah.
just what
Correct.
people should
Yeah,
do.
correct.
It's not something I spend my time doing, going on Google, seeing
Yeah.
like what someone really like, watch a program and stuff, and take it as it is.
Yeah, I
That
agree.
in general.
I'm with you on that.
And then
but
if
I don't
you do get
any-
news, sometimes you hear news, don't you? If this guy's done this and
Yeah.
this guy's done that or whatever.
Yeah.
And you
Oh,
think,
yeah,
hang on a
yeah.
minute.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
can't avoid it, and sometimes you hear things, don't you? Without a doubt. But
I don't like any of his characters though, as well.
Right.
So like the art isn't
Yeah,
good to
that's
me, and the artist isn't. It's just annoying.
But you had
point,
didn't you
that.
have the picture on your wall of when he did carpool karaoke with KTS? What were they called?
BTS.
BTS.
No,
BTS.
that is on our Patreon though. So
Oh,
if
yeah,
people
it
want
is.
to watch that,
Yeah.
BTS and James Corden. Anyway, we'll get into it. How James Corden destroyed his reputation.
James Corden has slowly developed one of the worst reputations in media history, and the foundation for his decline began when people started to realize that James Corden was a completely different person when he wasn't on camera. As an actor and the main host of The Late Late Show, James presents as a happy, polite, easygoing comedian whose goal is to simply make the audience laugh, although there's a mountain of evidence showing that in his private life he's the exact opposite to this, with his rude nature developing after he first became famous back in 2008. As a result of his excellent excellent performance on a British TV show called Gavin and Stacey, James would win the British equivalent of an Oscar, although accompanying this award was an ego boost that began to get out of control.
You can start to think you're perhaps a bit more of a dude than you really are. And that very much happened to me. You know, I had a swagger in my walk.
As mentioned, James Corden's sudden explosion into fame led him to believe that he was more of a dude than he really was, which would eventually translate into him treating everyone around him like garbage. James explained that as 2008 wore on, it got so bad I was being rude to my agent, and I even started being rude to Ruth. If I was in company and the conversation wasn't revolving around me, I would just switch off. In addition to being rude to everyone around him, Corden began to live a typically irresponsible, newly famous lifestyle.
I'd started going out quite a lot. This door had opened to this world that I thought looked like fun, where people go, you're amazing, you're great, can I have a photo? Do you want a drink? Come out with us. And so you just end up on this path of just 3 a.m. cab rides with people you don't know, heading across London to someone's house who you don't know either, with a group of people who think it's amazing that you're there. This is an intoxicating thing to be part of.
All of which being noticed by another Gavin and Stacey actor, Rob Brydon, who explained that when he first met James Corden...
Is he doing natural narration now, or is it just someone?
I think it's a clip of him doing it.
Could be.
Is
but
it?
it also sounds like it's someone doing an impression of him.
That's what I thought. It sounded more like someone doing an impression, just having
too slow
a
or
likeness.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound quite right. Rob Brydon, brilliant.
Yeah, very funny guy.
That's
Very
superb.
funny guy.
That sort of James Corden little monologue that they just did, though, was actually quite an introspective thing to say.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not... If someone is that
So that
aware,
he has actually said
self-aware,
that, though, has he?
Well, I presume so. That's
Yeah.
not just making it up.
It looked like it was quotations, didn't it?
Yeah.
So,
6 years prior, he was very impressed by him, yet after winning the Oscar award, James Corden was on a roller coaster. This boy from High Wycombe, and he's suddenly enjoying the fruits of his success, and he just lost his way for a bit. He was burning the candle at both ends and becoming ratty and irritable. James Corden claimed that his streak of irresponsibility came to an end after attending 18 months of therapy, although even after this, there were still countless examples of him treating people like garbage. For example, James Corden stated in a BBC4 interview that he needed to bully his way to the top of the media world, which can be observed in certain events such as the time he'd get into a public argument with another incredibly respected actor, Patrick Stewart, whilst on stage.
When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it.
After Patrick Stewart would confront James about looking disinterested during the presentation, the argument would escalate in front of everyone.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on. No, seriously, go on.
Okay.
No, go on. You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
Which was concluded by James and Patrick bickering in the background while someone else was talking on the microphone. Now, to cut James some slack, Patrick Stewart was probably in the wrong here, considering he was the person who began the argument. Interestingly, after James Corden gave him a very favourable introduction.
What was really confusing about it was I gave him like a massive intro.
Yeah, I know.
I said, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome an actor who's held in such high esteem. Please welcome the brilliant Sir Patrick Stewart. And then he came up and did that.
Although James still decided to engage and clap back with a few jabs of his own, so it's safe to say that he also had some degree of responsibility.
His body language says something different for me, James Corden, there. But there is only one microphone for him to share.
I didn't like the way he's going up to him with his arms crossed like that, though.
Yeah.
I think you'd probably plant one on him, wouldn't you?
It's
I'd
like
probably
a
be tempted to just fucking
confrontational.
stick my head on his bridge of his nose there.
Exactly, yeah.
But
That's what I
it's
was
kind of a
thinking.
mistake having just the one mic, because maybe he's leaning in to make sure he's on mic.
Maybe, yeah.
But still, that's if someone's in the street talking to you like that, it's not a good...
Do you know the one thing there? Someone who's funny, like a top comedian, for example, which Corden thinks he is, by the way.
Does he?
I think he does. He's got a very big ego, so he thinks he's a top comedian. But when you look at someone like Ricky Gervais or a Dave Chappelle, sort of like comedian doing introductions like this, what you should have done is let him go, let him walk off, get back to the mic, and then fucking rip him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to
That's
do
what you
it.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
No one wants to see the confrontation, do they?
No, not at all.
Makes you look a bit of a twat on both sides, both of them.
It's
To me,
just-
in
it's
my
just-
mind, both of them, I'm like, fuck, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's completely uncomfortable, isn't it? It's just not right. I think you're right. Someone like Ricky Gervais or what's the other guy? Anyway,
I don't
on
know.
ITV, Jonathan Ross. They do that. They sort of wait till they've gone off the stage.
Laugh it
and
off with it like a shitty.
Yeah.
And then when he's gone, just go back to the mic and rip him.
Yeah, then they think of something, a one-liner, just to sort it out.
Wait for him to walk off and go, Star Trek was shit anyway.
Other examples of similar situations where James has acted rudely, however, only after being provoked by someone else first. Countless paparazzi videos show James walking through Los Angeles looking quite angry and disinterested, although having a camera involuntarily shoved into your face probably doesn't facilitate the best environment for a good mood. There was also the time when Ant and Dec played a prank on James Corden, attempting to make him late for work, although considering they were literally going out of their way to make him angry, James probably gets another pass here. However, when James Corden would post one of the most brutal Reddit Ask Me Anythings in internet history, 3 fan interactions were highlighted, which James had absolutely no excuse for. Hey James, you won't remember me, but me and my friend sat at a table next to you and Harry Styles plus some others in Manchurian Legends in London's Chinatown about 6 years ago. We didn't bother you, but you were a massively entitled dick who yelled and treated the waitstaff like shit, and when one of my party politely suggested you calm down, you got really aggressive and threatening. So my question is this: why did Harry seem so cool while you were such a massive throbbing bellend? This post was followed by another.
Did you see the end bit as well? While you were such a massive throbbing bellend.
Yeah.
That's about right.
That's great.
This. Why did Harry seem so cool while you were such a massive throbbing bellend? This post was followed by another which read, I went to a James Corden live recording a while back. He had nearly zero interaction with the audience before/after the show and was on his phone entirely during commercial breaks. I guess that's his prerogative. He may have been having a bad day. I also realize it must be difficult to be on all the time, but I remember being extremely disappointed. By comparison, I've been to a Jimmy Fallon recording and a Letterman recording, and I can say with full conviction that those guys really seemed like they cared about their audience and worked their hardest to entertain them even while the cameras weren't recording, which was followed by one final anecdote reading, massive dick in person. I saw a League of Their Own filming.
That's one of his ex-girlfriends. He had a massive dick in person.
Do you know what though? It's like I'm one of them where I think to myself, if you're paying to go and see some kind of like event, right, then people are there because the people are coming to watch you perform, right? Whether it be a comedy show, a sporting event, a chat show, whatever it is. Then people are the ones that have made you what you are.
They're your TV audience.
Correct. But they're the people who've made you what you are.
Exactly.
Right? Into this level of celebrity stardom, which because he obviously thrives off being a celebrity and you know, a person who thinks he's top of the world.
Of course, yeah.
But if you're going there and you've got if you're sat in a crowd, if you're sat somewhere, you've got a fucking massive audience in front of you, and it's a commercial break, and you're there, then that's when you interact most, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives you a great opportunity to go, how's everyone doing? You know, and just have a chat with the crowd in general. Yeah. Maybe tell a few fucking jokes if you're a comedian, or you know, tell a story about what you've done. You know, when it's funny, a funny story.
Exactly.
You know, like you know what you do, like when you go on a sportsman's dinner and someone stands up and tells a story. That's your opportunity to make people like you and elevate you even further into the world.
Like you even
people
more,
like
spread the word and everything.
I mean, if you're being a dick, you'll fall off pretty quick. Sorry, Dave.
Well, even if you know that person was saying he was just sat on his phone during the commercial breaks. Even if he just got up and went, cheers guys, and as if he's going off to the toilet or whatever, and sat behind a curtain on his phone, it'd look better on his part than you not just sat ignoring all these people that have come to see you. You know, just go for a quick piss. And then,
but some people think that they're too big for that now because they've made it in certain realms of life and they go, I'm too big for you. No one's too big to fail. No one's too big to do anything.
And people that are saying it to,
and
the people that are saying it to are the people that have made them and that are still making them, because it doesn't sound that people in the audience are people the week after won't be the same ones. They'll be watching at home. So they're the same people, aren't they? Yeah. You know,
plus shit stories travel more than good stories.
And I'm sure listen, everyone has a bad day. I'm sure maybe some of these people did catch him on a bad day, and other days he was all right. But you know, there's a certain thread going through it, I think, isn't there? So
it'd be rough being followed by paparazzi.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
Again, you'd have to get that, wouldn't you? You know, obviously, if you're in the public eye, then you're going to get it to a certain extent. But
if
you're going to privacy as well, don't you?
If you're going to live in LA or somewhere, I presume you get that sort of thing more. If he was in the UK. He's not getting paparazzi following him.
Probably getting abuse if he lives in the UK. That's why he's fucking not here. Yeah. I think he keeps testing. I think he keeps dipping his toe in the water of saying, I'm coming back to the UK. I miss my family. I'm coming back to the UK. Trying to portray that family man, thinking everyone's going to welcome him in open arms over
See
here.
what reception he gets.
Where he doesn't. He has got a bit of a reputation of what people are saying here being a dick.
He's a bit more like, he's a bit like a Piers Morgan type.
Yeah.
You know, where we were like happy for him to go to the States and everyone was like, hey, he's gone. And then he goes, I'm coming back. And it's like, but then you see everyone from the States going, hey, piss off. See you later.
Yeah.
threw multiple tantrums over minor things at the production staff, with him being incredibly rude to them, which made the other regulars seem very awkward like it was usual. Between each take, the other celebs would be chatting amongst themselves, bantering about. James was glued to his phone. At the end of the filming, people got up to go get pictures with James, and he massively kicked off shouting at people to go away and go back to their seats, and the few he did let have pictures with, he was moody as. Seeing him like that made me realize everything you see of his on TV is a complete persona. When continuing on through the AMA, it becomes pretty obvious as to why James Corden only answered 3 different questions before calling it quits. Why are you, James, such a deeply unpleasant person? Did your parents raise you that way? Have you ever considered being funny or likable? James, are you aware that everyone thinks you're a hack and a talentless asshat? With his third comment here relating to the next reason behind James Corden's decline. Many of his on-screen performances have simply been terrible. A petition requesting that James Corden not be cast in Wicked the movie gained close to 110,000 signatures, and after friends announced that James Corden would be hosting the TV show's 15-year reunion, he'd received Twitter responses such as, "Don't get me wrong, I've been wanting a Friends reunion since 2004, but if someone told me James Corden would be in it, I'd have told them not to bother." James Corden adding the Friends reunion to the list of things he's ruined with his mere presence. Additionally, after starring as the main character in the 2019 film Cats, the movie received a 2.8 out of 10 star rating on IMDb, as well as reviews so awful that James Corden didn't even end up watching the movie himself. However, James stating that he didn't watch the movie wasn't the only thing that was interesting about this interview, as he'd also discussed another topic which had turned much of his audience against him, his beef with another talk show host, Bill Maher. In September of 2019, Bill Maher published an editorial about obesity, with the contents of such being discussed on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Look, you can't keep eating as much as you want and as shitty a food as you want. You just can't.
That is not something that anybody wants to hear, though.
People loved it until James Corden said something.
As mentioned, James Corden wasn't too happy with these comments and would call Bill Maher out by making both some reasonable arguments.
If making fun of fat people made them lose weight, there'd be no fat kids in schools and I'd have a six-pack by now.
As well as some awful ones, such as a zero personal responsibility statement that Bill Maher was simply lucky to have a body that burned more calories than him.
We're not all as lucky as Bill Maher, you know? We don't all have a sense of superiority that burns 35,000 calories a day.
Which Bill interpreted as the easy, low-risk way out of the argument.
He missed a great opportunity to literally save lives. He took the easy way out. Of course, you can always get applause for saying, "Oh, let's boo the mean man who's told the truth." That's not brave.
As is usually the case with these kinds of topics, there were supporters for both sides of the argument. However, James unnecessarily forcing himself into such a divisive conversation where people already disagree with him was probably a net negative toward his reputation, just like the time his carpool karaoke was outed for being fake. The segment during which James Corden drives around singing songs with various famous musicians was called out by a user on Twitter in early 2020 after they noticed Justin Bieber and James Corden in a car, which wasn't being driven but rather being pulled on a trailer.
That's probably a health and safety clipboard wanker that said that has to happen.
Look at me, Paul.
I just heard the word wanker.
Because he's filming a TV show where there's probably going to be loads of lawyers, loads of legal stuff involved, and he'll be driving a car whilst interacting with someone and singing songs.
Which you're probably not supposed to do.
You can see someone going, that voids your insurance for the show or whatever. What if you crash with Justin Bieber
Or if
in the
you crash
car?
into somebody,
Yeah, I'm not
knock someone over or something.
I'm not against that being...
What, them crashing in a car? Them
Yeah,
two?
I think it's probably more the way it's portrayed, though, isn't it? It's portrayed as him driving around.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's what people don't like.
Like you say, it's
like,
fake. He's turning the wheel and he's indicating, he's giving it the whole thing like he's actually driving, and he's not.
Yeah, if he was just sat there like that in a
so
car,
why don't they do
then it'd be funny.
Why don't they do karaoke on a train? If that's the case, that's what it is.
Or why couldn't it have been in a bigger car and he was sat in the back
like
with
a limo,
the person, and it would have just
in a limo. Let's crank
Yeah.
music up, or in a studio,
yeah,
or in the shower.
or in a padded room on his own, soundproofed.
Just don't do it in a car.
Yeah, I'm kind of being devil's advocate with that one because I can see that that's probably out of his hands.
Yeah, but I don't think they're
decision.
saying that. I think whoever's clicking this is saying why portray it like that when you're just being towed round. It's not a car.
Yeah.
You're not driving.
Yeah.
Find
I
a
get
different,
that.
Yeah.
a different edge, a different sort of thing to do.
Yeah.
would rack up over 14 million views, which prompted an incredibly hilarious response from James Corden himself, in which he would go ahead and debunk the claim that the series had been faked.
95% of the time, I really am endangering the lives of the world's biggest pop stars. Here is a list of every carpool karaoke where I've used a tow, and this is a list of every one where I was driving the car, okay?
However, while Corden did a pretty good job of debunking these claims, there are still countless comments on every carpool karaoke from people who never saw the debunk calling the videos fake. This all feels so fake when you know he's not actually driving. Fake news, James isn't actually driving. James Corden, stop cheating people with your carpool karaoke. Can't believe all these celebrities put up with this fake show. Next time at least drive the damn car. It seems like even when James Corden is in the right, his audience selectively decides that he's still in the wrong, which has also been speculated as part of the reason behind his recent announcement that he's leaving the public spotlight. On the 29th of April 2022, James Corden would upload a video to his YouTube channel titled James Corden Discusses His Late Night Future, in which he'd announced that he'd only be hosting the show for one more year.
I've decided to sign for one more year on the show, and that this will be my last year hosting the Late Late Show.
In a different interview, James Corden specified that his motive for leaving the entertainment industry was to spend more time with his family.
I don't want to do it forever. We're a really long way away from home, and we're a really long way away from people who are getting older, and we're a really long way from them if something should ever happen, and that plays on my mind a lot.
However, many have speculated that being such a disliked celebrity has put an unbearable amount of pressure on him, which becomes especially obvious when looking at the comments regarding his retirement. James Corden is a talentless bag of garbage. Goodbye, good riddance. Finally, we don't want him anymore. Ruins everything he's involved in. Probably one of the most annoying people in the business, it seems. Please don't come back to the UK. Please don't come back to the UK. Please don't come back to the UK. With each of these comments being accompanied by flattering articles such as, farewell James Corden, you were an asshole.
Brutal. Just a bit.
If you think he had it tough in USA, wait till he comes back.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anybody that likes him over here.
It's
I
weird,
couldn't
isn't
give
it?
a shit really. If I don't know.
I mean, if he's on a program, you don't have to watch it, do you? So to me, like say,
That's my
doesn't matter.
approach.
Really.
It's like Ant and Dec over here. I mean, they're on everything like dog shit. They're everywhere, but I don't watch them.
Yeah. Well, I like Ant and Dec, I must say that. But
I'm
you know,
alright with Ant and
I'm with
Dec.
it. You know, some people won't like them. That's fine. You know, like say if you don't watch it, it doesn't matter. Does
I just
it?
don't watch them. I don't like them or dislike them. I just don't care for them.
Yeah, exactly. And if James Corden started doing more telly over here, then I probably just wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's no hassle to me.
I think
Well, I mean, someone must like him over there because he's been doing it for a few years, hasn't he? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, someone must like him in the US.
The options.
they love a sort of British host on a lot of these late night shows, though, don't they? There's historically been a few.
Yeah, I
and they've,
suppose so.
they've gone
Yeah,
on for decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe someone has just thought he is the next whoever. Like, what's the Scottish guy called?
Craig Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson. Like, he's the next Craig Ferguson or someone.
Yeah.
And it's just not worked.
He's not coming on the Office, Blokes.
Would you go on a James Corden chat show if he invited us? Though?
No.
No,
I won't go on
that's
any
it.
chat show if he got invited.
The thing is, I wouldn't
You
want
two
to
go on. I'd fucking.
I wouldn't-
bin it off
I
him.
wouldn't
Mike
wanna-
would have to go on with his clipboard.
I wouldn't want to go on someone's show and be fake. And if I don't particularly like the guy, he annoys me. I'm not going to sit on his show and be like, you're all right, really, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'd feel like I'd have a responsibility to sit there and just be like, I'm just going to be straight with you. I'm going to tell you what. But then
Yeah, but
I wouldn't want to go on the show and ruin it.
Sometimes,
by being like
though,
that.
you don't know that person. You only know their persona from TV.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because I went in a restaurant one night, and on the next table to me was somebody. When I put my arm on I'd like to sit with my arm like that across the chair. And when I put my arm up, he put his arm and knocked my arm off. So I went, fucking arsehole. So I knocked his arm off, and then he knocked mine off again. Started laughing, and I'm like, and it turns out it was David De Gea, the goalkeeper from United.
Oh, right.
So I was like, and I recognised him. I thought, that's that fucking United goalie, sort of thing. And I made a joke about something like, you didn't catch the arm or you missed the.
It's the only thing you've caught all night.
Yeah, something like that sort of thing. You say you've deflected that one well. It's the only thing you've deflected, whatever it was. And he got talking to me, and as much as he's the biggest rival from my team in the area, got chatting with him about football. And he said, "Come and sit around here." And I sat with him and his cousin, and we had a great chat about football.
Right.
And he's very knowledgeable about football.
Yeah.
So while in my mind, I wouldn't like him,
because he plays for a rival team.
Yeah, it's a rivalry.
But I don't know him.
Yeah, but it's not based off personality traits.
It's
that
just
you've
based
perceived.
on-
Yeah.
It's not like he's sat there doing interviews with his arm over the back of the chair, putting on a pretend accent, rating is the dog's bollocks.
Yeah.
Then you'd be like, "No, you're a dick. I
Yeah.
don't like you." But
Yeah. But it's one of them. Until you get to know somebody, you can only judge them
I
from what
agree.
you know and how they are.
Somebody's
with
public
so-
image and being on telly is completely different kind than what they're actually like, which is that's a good example, isn't
It's
it?
like Stephen Mulhern. I always thought he was a bellend. Watched him a few times, seen him. He's actually a very, very funny man.
yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love him.
Really
now. I
good.
think he's one of the funniest
He
guys
is.
on TV.
he
is
is.
really
But
funny.
he should be everything. When you look at him, isn't right, and you should.
He's
Be
an
like,
Ant and
I
Dec.
should dislike him.
He's an Ant and
but
Dec
I agree,
substitute.
He's funny.
He's like when you order Ant and Dec on Wish.
Yeah.
You get Stephen Mulhern.
Yeah.
Well, he started on there, didn't he? Really?
On Wish.
No, on Ant and Dec, doing a few little bits and bobs.
Yeah.
Out, then he's ended up getting his own series.
He's like their supervisor. They're the managers, and he's the supervisor.
But he was always funnier on that than they were.
Very funny man. But yeah, until you meet someone like that, you don't know. But
Absolutely, yeah.
For
by
me,
all means.
James Corden just seems very fake.
Oh, we've not met
That's
James
all.
Corden, but we call him
I know.
an arsehole and all
So we're all,
sorts.
just,
aren't we?
we're all
I don't care for him
hypocrites
to
at the end of the day.
I'm just an ass for him. And just
That's the
don't care for him.
persona we get off him, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if we met him, I'd be fair. I'd meet him if I thought different. Then I'd say, "Hold my hands up. I was wrong."
Yeah.
But
I'm always open
you know.
to meeting someone and judging for myself, but I
That's the thing
wouldn't.
you got to, haven't you?
I
Yeah.
wouldn't go into like a TV show with preconceived ideas. If I met him for a beer and we hung out, and
different
then I was
because
like,
he's into
actually, you're an
football.
alright guy.
He's a big football fan.
Yeah.
So I know he's a big West Ham fan. So if someone like you and
Yeah.
I met him, it'd be football chat.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, we'd be talking probably for hours about football. And then if someone's got that sort of like knowledge of football as well, you'd be like, yeah, all right, guy. But you might not have been talking about the food or the weather or anything like that.
Or he might have just not spoke to you and just been like, I'm off.
Yeah. And then you're like, dick.
Yeah. Which seems like a lot of people's experience.
Yeah, maybe.
It does, yeah.
maybe. But
Interesting.
let us know in the comments what you think, especially if you're in the USA and you want to let us know what you think. It'd be interesting to get the take of him, how well he's thought of or well he's
how
not
he comes
thought of.
across over there.
Yeah, in the
it
USA.
would actually. Yeah.
Because we want to do everything we can to keep him over there. So if you can get
He gives us a few tips.
if you can get a good rapport going, we can post them on Reddit and all them kind of things. All them really good comments to keep him over there.
Yeah.
And hopefully he signs another 10-year deal with whichever channel it was.
Him and
NBC.
Piers Morgan co-hosting. That'd be great.
A few more we can send your way as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.